I mean, what are you even supposed to say after a game like this? The Miami Heat lose 135 to 118 against the worst team in the NBA, and they looked absolutely uninterested in this game. I mean, to give up 135 points and to give it 70 like 9 points in the first half to this team, it's absolutely disgusting to see where this team is right now. Just no emotion. Like you see them running plays and then just running defensive schemes, and then a guy just gets a wide open look. And there was a bunch of and this happened. This is happening multiple times. I mean, this team is giving up over 130 points over this 8 game or 9 game stretch where their season has basically just imploded and nothing matters anymore. And, it just everything is a complete mess. Heroes playing well in this game, but scores 2 points in the final, like what? Basically the last 20 minutes of the game, Hero scores 2 points. So who gives a shit about his 29 points in the beginning of the game? Like there's no point in even talking about it because it was for nothing. I mean, it was literally for nothing because he was doing all this. He was playing well, yet the team was not able to keep up with literally the worst team in the league. The Pacers had won 16 games up to this point in the season. There's only 8 games left, folks. There's only 8 games left, and we just lost to them. And yes, they have good talent on the squad. Pascal Siakam's great. I like Nemhard. Obviously, TJ McConnell has been a heat killer forever. But then you see guys like Slauson, Ethan Thompson, Micah Potter, bro. Micah Potter just seems to always have the best games of his career against you because you decided to not. Another guy that you probably should have kept around and keeps giving you the business every single time that you face him. And the Indiana Pacers at one point were shooting like 71% from the field in this game. That was like deep into the second quarter. Like it was like 68% at half, 57% for the game. Just nothing the Heat were doing was causing them any issues. And after that Cleveland game where you look pretty good, I mean, it was a solid road win against a good team even though they didn't have Jared Allen. And I know I haven't talked to you guys since that game because it was actually my birthday weekend. And I had a great time despite all this losing and mediocrity we've been getting from this Heat team. I still had a great time. Went to Disney. My wife and I had an amazing time. I did not allow the absolute train wreck that is the Miami Heat to ruin my weekend. But my God, like, dude, did they try? Because of course I get excited about, them snapping the win streak against a good team with a solid defensive performance. And then they come out and they lose the way they do to the Cleveland Cavaliers when they have all of their guys back. Jared Allen came back. Max Strus just gave us the absolute business. Another former Heat player that decides to just do whatever he wants against us. And and Max Strus is that guy. Absolutely miss him. I mean, saying the Strus is loose was one of my favorite parts of every game whenever he would just go off. But that's over now. Now he's giving you 20 in like 10 minutes. And now you're losing to the Indiana Pacers. And you're trying to tell us that you're going to be competitive out of the play-in. And it's a joke. And it raises even bigger questions about like how this team is being run. And we've known that the questions have need to be raised. But like, and we knew that eventually this team would show its true colors in the second half of the season and eventually show us like we don't hope for it. I mean, maybe not some of us, because I mean I want this team to do well. Like I hate like being in this position of just mediocre basketball. We're the 10th seed with we're already locked into a playing spot. And like you see where this team is, and the front office telling you stuff like, they still believe that we can make some noise in the playoffs. It's just like, it's a joke. And I was listening to Locked On Heat and Wes said something very, very like interesting to me, and like it's quite concerning because Spoelstra absolutely did talk about the defense after the last game against Cleveland, saying how atrocious it was. I mean, giving up 149 points is insane. Spoelstra talked about how bad the defense was and how they had been a top 5 defense all year long. And honestly, with every comment Spo says, it feels like he's like disconnected from reality and what's actually happening. Because yes, the stats are telling you we're a top 5 defense. Not anymore, because that's what he was trying to say, that we'd been a top 5 defense basically all year long, and then the last stretch of the season, the last 2 weeks, we've been basically like the worst defense in the league. To go from one side of the spectrum to the other is absolutely nuts. But you also have to look at the way that these guys are looking on the floor, like the body language, like, and yes, they're taking on better teams, but they just gave up 135 to the Indiana Pacers. So it doesn't matter who they play. Like, they're getting beat so bad to every single spot. Like, he's talking about how, like, the process is good on offense, but it's just like, who cares if you score 118? You scored 11 points in the fourth quarter, because as always, whenever it comes down to, clutch minutes and having to make a bucket, make a play, this team is incapable of doing that. They struggle down the stretch and just wither away every single time. And it's so sad to watch that this front office is so lost and so disconnected from the way that the fan base feels, that it's like we're heading to just nowhere. Like, we're literally going to be here where we are forever until they just get lucky again. All that's going to be left to us, since we're as low as we can go as the 10th seed, is maybe 13th, 14th best odds at the number 1 pick. Like, yeah, miracles can happen, but like, that's as good as we can hope for. And that's atrocious. So yeah, this team is a mess. This team is a joke. It's so sad to watch where they are now after all the years of being competitive, being a solid team, and just watching them be like, give me some of the best joy that I can remember. That is gone now. That is absolutely gone. But like, again, I'm not going to allow it to ruin my overall mood, because look, now we got Marlins baseball back, baby. We got Marlins baseball back. We got the Panthers tanking their way to a top 5 pick. We got good things happening. We don't have to waste our time with the Heat that just like to stay in their little bubble of mediocrity and doing absolutely nothing. We don't have to be there. Like, we don't need to be there. We can be focusing on other things that are much funner to talk about. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And yeah, this season's over. There's literally no point in having any more conversations about this Miami Heat team doing anything of significance. It's over.